Sahar, you talk about the habit of notching up no's, which I get a lot of no's all the time. But can you tell me, like, I think a lot of people are afraid of getting no's, and that actually is exceedingly damaging for their own individual life success, but also their careers. So tell us about why you actually dedicate a whole chapter of your book to notching up no's. What's your point you're making there?
The point I'm making there is when you hear stories of entrepreneurs, there's always there are these stories of how many rejections they had, from Walt Disney to Kentucky Fried Chicken to even Paul McCartney being rejected by the school choir.
Yeah.
So the people we hear about, there's almost kind of swashbuckling kind of famous names in business we hear about. We hear about their stories of getting a no. But somehow when it comes to ourselves in a big company, we get the first yes when we get the job accepted and we get the job offer. And then almost a no is almost taboo in a larger organization, I found. You're almost not meant to ever ask someone and get a no. And therefore this idea that you want to avoid a no makes you complacent, because you prefer to play it safe, not push the boat out.
Yeah.
As long as you never hear the word no. And that makes you complacent and makes you switch off. So my point is actually, when you are doing something differently, you're always going to get a no. Because there's a status quo bias. People love the status quo, and as a gut reaction, we reject new things.
Yeah.
And you've got to accept that no one's ever suggested anything new and people have gone, wow. People have always rejected new things, labeled those people insane, whatever it is. People have always rejected the new.
Yeah.
It's the sort of shock of the new in a way. And so if you factor that in, then you change your approach.
Yeah.
That it's not going to be an easy ride. And sometimes I think people in larger companies, you sort of expect the easy ride. Entrepreneurship is meant to be difficult. Larger corporations, easy. Make things sort of pass through. No, why can't you have the same?
So if you do get a no, would your advice be just to be persistent,
Yes.
just like you have to in any sales job or any entrepreneur around the world, even internally in a large corporate, you get a no, be persistent, keep on going. It's your vision, it's your dream, and it's going to get you switched on. So keep on fighting, get more no's, but you'll eventually get a yes.
Exactly. My formula is after 19 times, the 20 times you asked, you're going to notch up on 19 no's, which really is from my own experience, where we got 19 no's from bank managers for a loan from Coffee Republic, and the 20th one said yes. So that's what I use, is almost try to notch up on 19 no's. We got only 19 no's. I think the guy from Starbucks got 400 something. So it's all relative, and therefore the idea is when you're getting no's, when you're getting rejected, you're in a good place because you're out of your comfort zone. You're pushing the boat out. You're doing something new, and eventually you are going to get the yes. And I use that in my own life. And I think great CEOs we read about are CEOs that encourage mistakes, because without a bit of trial and error, it's not even a mistake, it's a bit of trial and error, you're not going to get things right first time round. You're never going to get to where you want to.
That's right.
You're just going to keep doing the same thing.
Yeah. There was a sales director in New York that I was trying to headhunt for absolute ages. Eventually got him into our organisation, and at 8:10 on his first morning, he was jumping up and down, celebrating. So I was like, this is the fastest sale in the history of our organisation. So I went over and I said, congratulations, he actually got a rejection, not a yes, but he knew that he knew what his conversion rate was. So every single time he got rejected, he knew he was getting closer to that yes. So
Exactly.
It's about sort of not seeing it as rejection, not seeing it as failure, but as a trial, and then you're getting closer to your...
And that is exactly my formula as well. If I ever do something, but even publishing a book, the more I get no's, the closer I know I'm going to go through the process.
Yeah.
And I almost believe it so strongly. If I get a yes the first time round, I sort of get very suspicious because I know I'm going to pay for it eventually.